If you're asked to serve on a jury, they impress upon you the idea of being impartial. And in the study of aesthetics, the idea of being emotionally detached and indifferent plays a part in entering in to a new experience. And if you come across an art installation you particularly enjoy seeing, well, then you find out there's nothing impartial about it. Welcome. Welcome to the second floor gallery at the Fine Arts Building. I'm Stanley Smith. This summer, we welcomed the Chicago Sculpture International Group into the Fine Arts Building second floor gallery for a group show. And I was called upon to curate the show. And I'm not actually a curator, I'm actually a volunteer curator here at the gallery of our tenant-led group of artists and enthusiasts to curate the show. I'm primarily a visual merchandiser, window display, and decorations for stores and retail establishments. I kind of used my impartial, indifferent eye. I'm not usually personally invested in any of the works or merchandise that I'm selling, but need to find a way to make it all work together. And second floor gallery has a number of different obstacles and opportunities and challenges. It's a high traffic area, multi-purpose space. So I guess my first lens was safety and practicality of installation. Also, each season we are invited by the Art Institute to partner with a theme based on their summer show. This summer, the theme is Gustave Caillebotte's Rainy Day. Uh, at the top of the gallery, we have this lovely work called Impartations, and it's a fiber sculpture, which is probably the I would say zaniest piece. And actually, it was not my first choice. I kept coming back to it. I was immediately drawn to it, but I was concerned about the practicality. But worked out terrific here, especially juxtaposed to this traditional architectural piece, which is always in the gallery. This Frank Lloyd Wright inspired stained glass. Then we have this very modern fiber sculpture right in front of it. I think that's a really terrific pairing. This work is called Snow Concrete, and it's a wall piece. Complements a lot of the sculptures very nicely. And this piece is called The Waver. It's an unusual, kind of has a antique carriage type thing. And early on discussing this with the director of the Chicago Sculpture International, Darlis E. Wolt, about how that would really hang together. Seeing the show through the lens of Gustave Caillebotte, late 1800s, and the Paris street scene of the Rainy Day, a well-known work at the Art Institute and the central part of the show. And I, talked about the textures, the patinas, the colors, the materials of the show and how that would relate to the materials used in a lot of the sculptural pieces. Another painted work called Nomadic Knee. Some of these titles were very intriguing, and only later in the process did I really pay attention to the names. Early on, some of the artists in their submission descriptions and in some of the correspondence with the artist, struck by the idea that artists, earnestly want to be considered and they want you to enjoy their work and appreciate it for all the different merits. And I have to say again, I started out with the most practical of concerns, what we could hang in the gallery, what we could position in the gallery, and secondary, had the eye to the colors, the textures of patinas that would relate to the Gustave Caillebotte theme. This particular work was called Double Cloud, and has a very visceral appeal in the gallery. It's like a sterling silver type finish and immediately attracts your attention. This work on the juxtaposed behind it is called Skyscraper. Nice interplay of mediums and genres and themes. This work was actually called Paris Street Rainy Day. So this artist took that to heart, and these little graphite drawing paintings assembled here really speaks to the theme. And I believe this was called Falling Blue Square graphite piece, sculpture piece. Immediately caught my attention simply because of the blue. It's a very nice piece. This piece is called Blade. I believe the artist's name is Bruce Weber, which the only reason I remember that is because of the famous photographer. I was amazing how many sculptural pieces we were able to place in the gallery quite well. This work is called Portrait. And if you look very closely, There's a small little figure here. It's very intriguing. And in the background, we see this work called Divided. And in front of that work was the piece, I think this is the first piece that came through the door when the works were delivered here at the Fine Arts Building. This was called Brush Bug. I don't remember selecting it, but it is one of my favorite pieces because it's terrific size, shape, and height. It immediately attracts your attention and very evocative. This work is called Fragments, and this is by Gustave Caillebotte, which, again, I was not paying attention to the names or the artists. And I selected this without even knowing that this was the director of the association. Welcome, Darlis. This work immediately I dismissed, even though I was really drawn to it. This is called Working Square. I believe the artist's name is Wu. Hope I got that right. But at the end, I could not imagine the show without this piece. It is immediately strikes me as difficult, challenging, and cumbersome to install, but worked out really great, and it really weights the gallery. And again, it speaks to the late 1800s, antique patina. We don't see a lot of patina in our time, which I think is unfortunate. I'm a 1980s holdout, and that was definitely the era of patina and finish and surface, and definitely adds a dimension. This piece is made out of graphite, and I have the graphite on my hands to, don't tell the artist I handled it directly, but did have the graphite all over myself. Impressions is the name of the show, speaks to the idea of Impressionism of the Gustave Caillebotte show at the Art Institute. And this work is called Red Curve. And again, immediately drawn to it by the colors for the theme. Really concerned about how we were going to install this, but we did. And artist helping artist, someone who helped deliver the work was familiar with this artist and said he prefers to have his works positioned overhead. So didn't even question that. We tried to accommodate that. In many ways, the show was all about accommodating and hospitality. The artist, Chicago Sculpture International, was invited into the building by the owner of the building, Erica Berger, and never talked to her directly about it. But because hospitality was extended to this outside group, we never questioned extending hospitality and courtesy and every accommodation we could to make sure that anyone visiting the building, any tenant of the building, anyone who's associated with the building is having a good experience. This work is by an artist named Steele, which is easy to remember. But at this point, I can't remember actually, it was called a BC 14. So I don't know if that means in the time of our Lord, but could be our time because there's a lot going on here with this work. A couple more works we have outside in the courtyard on the fourth floor. It's by Jill Blue Athena, which is especially appropriate for this outdoor space, courtyard space, to have a figure. Athena kind of evokes to old world classicism, which the Venetian court outdoor courtyard speaks to with the architecture and the classical details. And the final work on display is Falling Keystone, which again, ironically speaks to the architecture of the setting and the significance of the building. Everything kind of came together for this show. Many happy serendipity came across our threshold this season, and we couldn't be more delighted to host this show this summer. The show will be in place till the end of August here at the Fine Arts Building. The Fine Arts Building is located at 410 South Michigan Avenue, and we encourage you to visit the show. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.